Phoenix is hosting its first Black Children's Book Week. The event celebrates local Black authors and their contributions to children's literature. And to learn more, we welcome Dr. Neil Lester, founding director of ASU's Project Humanities, and Erica Maxwell, chair of Black Children's Book Week. Good to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Erica, we'll start with you. Give me a good definition here. This is a week-long event that celebrates authors, readers, everyone, right?
So the founder of Black Children's Book Week is Veronica Chapman. She founded this in 2022. It has been on my radar as a local children's author and decided this year we're going to celebrate it. It is a global celebration of Black children and of those that ensure that children are seeing themselves in our books, and also that media that also represents Black children.
And Dr. Lester, some of the scheduled events here that are going to go on throughout the week.
Yes. Well, we did our kickoff on Sunday, and that was essentially a kind of meet and greet the authors. There are about 10 authors local who are writing for and about young Black children and youth. And we've got book readings going on at one of the elementary schools this week. And on Sunday, there will be the culmination from 12 to 4, which will be a whole lot of family activities, games, giveaways, and the authors will be engaging with various audiences.
Very good. You know, talk about children's literature, Black Children's Book Week. What makes a good children's book?
A good children's book is one in which children can see themselves. They can dream. They can think about their futures, what they can be, what they are, their families, things that they can read together and separately. So a good children's book is anything that engages a child in reading.
Yeah, and shows a challenge and the child facing the challenge, I would hope succeeding and handling the challenge. That's kind of, there's got to be a story there, right?
Yes, and it represents a multitude of, these books, they represent a multitude of narratives.
Yes.
And that's what makes it special.
It's also, I understand the notion of the challenge, but we want to talk about this in terms of the spectrum of what good stories can be, because good stories are not always challenges.
Well, I guess I'm thinking
can be
story,
celebrations.
Yeah, story arcs, those kinds of things. You know, you got the hero's journey and all that kind of.
Yeah.
But in children's books, are they the same thing or a little bit different?
Oh my gosh, I think it's harder to write a children's book because we underestimate the value of these stories and the fact that adults are writing the stories, not children. So we have the adult politics there that tell us about all kinds of lessons, all kinds of ways to experience the world. And I would say, which is what Toni Morrison has said as a teacher of children's literature and adult literature, the more specific it is, actually the more general it can become. So although these may be about Black and brown children, they're really about children and about human connection. So the audience is not just for, but you can be very specific and still reach out to people very generally.
Yeah, and stories, just the importance of sharing stories.
Yes. Absolutely. It's very important. And even as an author, sharing my daughter's story of her life with her birthmark. And again, that represents a small portion of the books that we have, but I think, again, creating those windows and mirrors for our students, and not just Black students, but other students, so they can see and have a different perspective than is often portrayed in the media of Black children and Black people.
Especially now when there's a kind of urgency. There's always been an urgency and a need, but there's something about now where books are being banned, and these very books are being banned.
Wow.
Not because of what the stories are about, but what they look like and what people presume the stories are about and don't want the stories to be about.
Do you approach that kind of thing in a children's book, or do you let that kind of thing be on the outside of the house?
Now, what do you mean, that kind of thing?
What you just talked about.
Well, what I'm saying is that anything about race, anything about validation of one's gender identity, anything that validates class identity, anything that validates people in terms of who they are, is threatening to some folks. And these are the books that will validate and supplement those things that are being taken out of libraries because they are being banned, they're not being in classrooms, and so this is a way to say these stories will not be erased and the voices will not be silenced.
And this is also a way to celebrate libraries, to celebrate places where these stories can be found, correct?
Absolutely, because in Phoenix, I started with about 10 listed local authors, and my list is up to 25 local Black Black authors.
Really?
We are here. We want to celebrate the authors and their work, and we want to have the communities see these authors at their schools and their communities because, again, it's about exposure. And when students see themselves and connect to the content, they're more likely to engage in reading. And we have a reading issue here in this state with 26%
Yes,
and
we do.
25%
Yes,
fourth
we've-
and eighth graders proficient in reading. And so that's abysmal and it's unacceptable. But these can help boost those scores as well.
Before you go, we have a graphic here to learn more about Black Children's Book Week, and this is, if you're looking for information on this, there you go. It's 12 to 4, the Grassroots Bookstore and Juice Bar. Very
Yes.
good, very good. You got
Some
everything.
nourishment for the soul and for the
Yes.
mind.
Well, good. And
Yes.
congratulations on this, and best of luck, and good to have you both here. Good to
Thank
see you
you.
both again. Thank
Good
you.
to see you again. Thank you
Yes.
for having us.
You bet.